completed the assembly, and then you're going to create a presentation file. Presentation file, if you go to new, it's this bottom one down here at the bottom. That allows you to take an assembly and then make the parts kind of move away to essentially show you how the parts go together. So for this, I'm going to start with a standard presentation file. Okay, and the first thing you need to do is bring the assembly into the file. So where it says Create View, you're going to click on that. Now again, it may default and pick up your assembly that you might already be working on. If not, you're going to have to hit open this folder and then navigate to the assembly that you're working with. So that would be this one here. We'll hit open. Now, I do want it to be a manual explosion method. We're going to do this manually, so we'll hit OK. It'll bring that part in there for us. Okay. So now, next step that we need to do is to start moving stuff out. So I'm going to show you how to do it quickly with the stack, and then how to do it in multiple parts like this wheel over here. Okay. So to move parts, you're going to hit Tweak Components. First part is you're going to need to figure out which direction to move the part. Okay. So really, what you're looking for here is some sort of flat shape that you can put these arrows on. Okay, that's going to give us our coordinate system. So if I click on this face, you'll see that letter Z is going straight up, and that's where I would want to move this stack up. I'd want to move this up the Z direction. Alright, now if you're having trouble seeing which letter it is, as you change the letter in the window here, the blue arrow actually updates with whichever letter you're choosing. So if it's hard to see the letter, you can just look at the color and figure out which way you need to go. So I need to go the Z direction. Next thing I need to do is figure out which components need to go. So if I click on components, I need this to go up. Alright, and then this right here is where I'll tell it what distance to move. So if I click on this part here, I'm going to change this to a 1. And I'll hit OK, and look at that, it went up. Okay, and if everything looks good, you can hit clear and move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is these wheels. And again, I don't even have to put my initial direction on any of these parts. All I'm looking for is just a flat face that I can figure out which direction to go. So if I choose that face, again I need to go the Z direction here because I need to go out with the wheels here. Alright, so that's my direction is Z. Now I can go select the components. And so for this one, I actually want to select the wheel, the axle, as well as the linkage pegs and the linkage arm. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts there. 8 parts. Okay, so when you have the 2, 4, 6, 7 parts, sorry. When you have all of those parts selected, then you can then have it go out a distance. So in this case, I'm going to have it go out a distance of 1. Check mark, and you can see that it took all those parts and moved them out 1, which is good. We'll hit clear. Alright, and same thing, do it again. So direction, again, doesn't matter what I'm choosing, I'm just trying to figure out an arrow. The Z is still good, yep. My components for this next one, I'm going to leave the wheels where they're at, so I'm going to grab the peg, the linkage arm and the linkage pegs, and the axle peg. I'm leaving the wheels where they're at. Change this to a 1, and it took those out now. And so you can keep repeating this process essentially. Clear. The last one I want to do, same thing. So my Z direction, my components. The last one I'm going to do is my axle and my linkage pegs. I'll leave the linkage arm where it's at. Okay, and have those go out another distance of 1. Hit check mark, and there we go. Nice and easy. Okay. Now, if the linkage arm is in the way as you're starting to pull this out, you're going to need to update the assembly originally. So what I mean by that is, if you have the assembly open, so let me open up the assembly here. Wherever this is, this right here, this linkage arm is, wherever it's located, is going to come into the presentation file. So if you have it like this, you're going to have that axle go right through the linkage arm. So you may have to come here first and adjust it before you start creating that presentation file. Okay, but you need to do this for all of that. So both sides should look similar to this wheel part. You need the cow catcher to come out, and you also have the hitch peg and the hitch magnet in the back to go out as well. Okay, so once you have all of those parts exploded out, then you can move on to the next step. Last thing I'll say is make sure you save early, save often. Okay, it'd be really troublesome if you get most through all of this and it freezes up, which I think some of you have had happen before. So we'll call this train explode and hit OK, and it saved everything. We're good to go. So that is how you create that presentation file.